Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Serena. So why are you seeing me through a video? Well, by seeing the swelling of my face, you could probably tell that I had an oral surgery several days ago. I'm very grateful that the Lord blessed surgery very well. And meanwhile, it does affect my speaking a little bit. Like I may need to take some pause in speaking at times. So by recording, I could take pause I needed and continue after that. So with Christy's patient permission, I recorded this video in advance to share with you the story of Aksah. So here we go. And as Aksah is a person that everyone is familiar with. So in order to help you relate to her story better, I'm going to do a short role play to present her story. Shalom, shalom, my friends from 21st century. My name is Aksah. I was born in the wilderness as a second generation of Israel. My dad was the last survivor of the fourth generation. His name is Caleb. I'm so proud of being his only daughter. Just like his nickname, aka Hero of Faith, my dad often told us stories about Yahweh, how merciful, powerful, and faithful he is, and how he delivers, protects, and leads our people from slavery in Egypt, wandering in the wilderness, and up to today, we can now live in this promised land of milk and honey. What a blesser he is. I have been always excited to hear stories about Yahweh and look forward to what he is doing in my life. So when I came to the age of marriage, my dear dad prepared for me a special suitor challenge. Aksah, with the name my dad gave me to me a precious anklet. And as the only daughter at home, I know this special suitor challenge is out of his special love for me as always. Especially, I heard the challenge was to conquer a complex Canaan city. So this means only a man of men who is powerful, faithful, fearless, and extra care about me will be able to risk his own life and manage to complete this challenge. And surprisingly, this man of men turned out to be my cousin Othniel, someone I'm familiar with, even better. So I happily accepted this marriage proposal. During the wedding week, I convinced my new husband Othniel to ask my dear dad for land as a wedding present. I know. The tradition is to pass lands on to sons, but who knows? Maybe my dear dad wouldn't mind blessing us with a small portion too. And guess what? Actually, he did. He blessed us a dry land. How gracious of him. Wait, a dry land? Well, I heard that to grow a land will need water, but a dry land doesn't have water, but will need extra water. So should I ask my dad again? Let me think. Well, it doesn't hurt to ask, right? And if my dad felt it's too much, then that's fine too. So during my wedding week, when I saw my dear dad from a distance, I got off my donkey to honor him and took the courage to reach him out. And miraculously, my dad started this challenging conversation. Praise Yahweh. And guess what he asked? He asked me, my dear daughter, what do you want? Oh, my gracious dad. At this moment, all my fear was gone, so I no longer hesitated but shared with him our needs for one spring. Then, not even asked after 1 second, he immediately said yes and blessed us with 1 spring plus 1 spring, 2 springs, as if he already knew our needs and had even prepared for this when he decided to give us a dry land. Wow, this is a life lesson I learned from my dear dad. He knew our needs, even before we ask, and was prepared to give in even advance. But if I didn't ask, then I wouldn't have. So ask will receive. Apart from this, I also learned about my dad's faith as the last survivor of the first generation. In fact, similar stories also happened in my lifetime. When I was younger, there used to be more people worshiping Yahweh. But slowly and slowly, everyone forgot about Yahweh, went away and started to worship pagan gods. So they were punished by their own sin with lots of troubles. So it was in this context people started to cry out to Yahweh for help. I like the lesson we learned earlier. Ask will receive. So that was the time Yahweh called my husband to be the fourth leader of the second generation as the fourth judge. I know we were young. There was no mentor around, and everything was new to us. However, my husband and I firmly believe that redemption, judgment, and leading ultimately come from Yahweh. Since this calling is from Yahweh, and he gave my husband his own spirit, so we believe that he will do something beyond our comprehension or imagination. So my job is just to fully trust in Yahweh without fear, to support my husband, to care about our family and the women in our country, and to surrender the rest to Yahweh. Amazingly, he blessed our faith and services with 40 years of peace. Ta-da! Okay, time to come back to student Serena again. Okay, question number 1. How does Aksah reflect the image of God? Well, as women, we were created in the image of God, and we can see Aksah was given dignity through her name. If you have finished reading the book of Judges, then you will know that the most of women in this book were nameless. However, she was given a name, Aksah. Not only so, her name indicates her parents' abundant love for her by meaning a precious jewel or a beautiful anklet. In fact, unlike most women in the book of Judges, who went through all kinds of immorality, tragedies, if you look into Aksah's story, you will notice how much love and blessing Aksah received in her lifetime. Additionally, apart from being extra cared as a daughter of God, Aksah also lived out a life to reflect Christ. For example, her faith in trusting Father's love, her faith in trusting God's leading, her courage to receive an arranged marriage, her courage to ask for blessings, her courage to start new ministries, and her faithfulness and perseverance to support her family and to serve her country, Israel, for 40 years. Okay, question number 2. So how does Aksah anticipate our Lord Jesus Christ? Well, just like our Lord Jesus Christ lived as a pioneer and minority of faith on the earth, Aksah and her husband Othniel were also a pioneer and minority who put their faith in God alone. Even when the world around them were totally a mess, she trusted in God's promises to bless their faithfulness in their current and future life. This can be shown by her request to her father to pass along the heritage. Also, Aksah's life echoed to Christ's prayer and action of faith in John chapter 17, verse 24. Wherever God led her to go, she fearlessly went due to her faith in God. And last but not least, our Lord Jesus also once said to his disciples, "For everyone who was being given much, much will be required." This is also reflected in Aksah's life. As God blessed their faith, they fully follow God, and God continued to bless them. Okay, question number 3. How does studying Aksah impact me personally? Let me think. Well, just like Aksah, I believe that God is not just a God of my spiritual parents or future husband, but also my own God. No matter if God called me to marriage or not, I believe He has the best plan for me because He loves me. If He calls me to marriage like Aksah did, it means His calling for my spouse will also apply to me, including serving our family and mutual ministries, and including wherever He wants us to live in. And if He calls me to stay single, I'm also grateful for His sufficient grace to help me learn to surrender my fears to Him, to find contentment in Him, and to fully follow Him with faith. In fact, Aksah's story especially reminds me of God's abundant love and intentional preparation. Nothing is coincident. God has a good purpose in every season. Even when I see a need on my end, I can still trust in God and first go to Him. Maybe He's preparing me to learn a lesson to bring me to a potential blessing. Our God is so powerful, loving, and faithful. So I can learn to surrender fear to Him and learn to serve Him even with new partners and new ministries. Even when I'm young and lack of knowledge or maturity, and even when I may not have an immediate visible mentor around. After all, the good work He has started will have been accomplished, and it's He who conquered the battles, bring about peace, and sustain people's faith for however long. May God's will be done. May all glory be Him alone. Amen. This is the end of my presentation. Thank you for watching this video. Hope you enjoy it. Speak to you soon.